Hello folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Supplier Spotlight podcast. My name is Liam Ball. I am your magical wedding host, also known as the Gentleman Magician. This podcast exists to shine a light on some of the best people in the wedding industry, suppliers who create memorable experiences and lasting moments for both couples and their guests. As always, if you're enjoying this podcast, whether you're watching or listening, please do like, subscribe, and share it with somebody else who's planning their wedding day. It really will make the best use of their time for figuring out what they do want to do and how they want to do it on their big day. Most definitely, today's guests is certainly one that's worth sharing if you're considering something interactive and meaningful. Now, today we are stepping once again into the world of wedding artwork. But this particular discussion isn't just about capturing moments as they unfold. It's about creating something together. This artist works with the couple of a wedding, and they help to create a piece of art, keeping in mind the style of their wedding and the kind of artwork they want to display in their home, the foundation starting on the wedding day. Guests are then invited to add their own touches, being part of the process. And the result is a wonderfully collaborative piece of refined fine artwork that's beautiful and holds not just a memory of the day, but the involvement of the people who shared it. So it's a huge honour to bring onto the podcast from Penny's Art, Penny Nanton. Hello, Penny. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for this opportunity, Liam. Great to chat with you.
You're very welcome. It's great to get you on as well. I remember, Penny, actually, when we met, I think I first met you at a wedding fair and you were doing some absolutely fabulous piece of artwork. And I was just like, wow, that's just amazing. And you sort of told me about what you did, and I thought, you know what, we've got to talk more about this because it's absolutely brilliant. How long have you been an artist for?
Well, I've always been creative because I didn't walk till very late in life, so creativity was my world. And then I became a therapist and then went into my art properly in 2016.
Okay, gosh, what kind of therapy were
Yeah.
you in?
I was a massage therapist and
I
aromatherapist.
see.
Yeah,
Okay,
working
right,
in
gosh.
I used to work in rehab clinics.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
But of course, you've then gone from there into the world of art, and I'm guessing you've never looked back.
No, I haven't because as as you probably guessed, doing that kind of job it is really physical.
Yeah.
And I decided rather than treating, I'm really lucky. I know the power of touch because I did it for 30 years. I thought I always wanted to connect with my creativity, and I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I decided to have art therapy in 2012.
Mm.
And it's just taken me on this journey. And in 2022, I decided to give up massage and focus on the power of creativity because rather than just sharing with one person at a time, now I can share with loads of people at a
Yeah.
time how powerful art is. And now this is my whole job in different areas, doing workshops, and now the signature canvas for weddings.
That's fantastic. I mean, I certainly know I've picked up a pencil from time to time. I've talked about it at the podcast. I like to draw, despite the fact that I'm no Van Gogh. But of course, it can be a really, like, just creating a piece of art can be a really therapeutic thing, can't it?
It is. It's got huge benefits, and it has a really powerful way of taking us to another world that nobody really knows where we go.
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I certainly had moments when I thought, right, today I'm going to sit down and draw this tree, and you just kind of start sketching, and suddenly, hours have gone by, and you kind of halfway through this piece of artwork, and all the worries of the world have sort of slipped away, and I mean, just to have even a few moments of that in any day is good for everybody, of course.
It is. Have you done any magic with drawing?
I've toyed around with the idea, I think, but yeah, I don't think my drawing is quite at the skill it would need to be to make it really good.
Um,
So what? Oh, I mean, being creative, of course, and being an artist, it's one of those things that I think there's probably more people out there who are great in the skill of creation and who are great artists and great at producing things, who are thinking to themselves, gosh, I wish I was better at this and I wish I was good enough. And of course they are, but they don't realize it. How did you get to a point where you were creating artwork, you were following your passion, you were doing something you loved, and then suddenly started to think to yourself, do you know what? I'm definitely good enough at this to share it with people.
Well, for the wedding, the signature canvas, I whenever I did art exhibitions in France,
Yeah.
as I was a therapist, and I didn't think my work was that extraordinary that I could just stand there and show it off. And I wanted, as a with the therapy mind, I wanted to show others if I could stand there and show my work, you can as well. And I'm sure you have a creative grain in you that wants to come to life. So I used to have a small canvas, and as the passers-by passed by, I used to invite them to come and help me create the canvas that was en route.
Oh,
And
wow.
then when I moved to England, in France, everybody used to say, "Oh, this is such a lovely touch. It's made me feel really relaxed. Maybe I should go and paint." And then when I moved to England, I did some community events, and the organizers asked me, could I do something to bring people together? So I did this where they created the canvas with me,
Yeah.
and I was working in a disability center, and everybody loved it, and we raised some funds of money for some other canvases that I did for some other community events. And one day I was driving home from work, and I just thought, rather than just mulling over the idea, maybe I should do this for special events because it brings such joy to people, that I should start doing this for special events. And I just took a leap and I went for it, and I started with an A4 piece of paper to
Yeah.
advertise it, and now 3 years later. But if your heart tells you you want to go for it, for me, you must try in every way to go for it. And you'll probably go off on another journey. But I still can't say that I've reached the level, because I'm always learning, probably a bit like you. Every
Yeah.
day is a learning day, but I know my art is spoken from my heart. And yeah.
Well, of course, I think what many people don't realize is that creatives really do suffer from what they call the creator's curse, isn't it? Is that you make a piece of artwork and you immediately look at it and think, gosh, but I could do that better. So you do it again, and then you do it better, and you think, yeah, but I could still do that even better. And of course, because you're constantly learning, you're constantly improving, you're constantly getting better. So you're constantly looking at the work you've done, thinking, oh, if that line was just another half millimeter longer, that would be so much better. And other people are kind of looking, being like, "This is amazing. What are you talking about?" But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
this whole concept, and this is really what kind of brought me to you today. This whole concept of having creative, collaborative artwork, where it's not just that somebody's commissioning you to create a beautiful piece of art. I mean, like that piece in the background, for instance, obviously one of your pieces, absolutely
Yeah.
phenomenal, and the kind of thing that probably you could be commissioned for. But this isn't just about somebody creating or asking you to commission a piece of creative artwork for them. This is about a collaborative thing, and a collaborative engagement with guests on a wedding day, isn't it? Something they can display, where somebody could walk into the house and go, that bit there, that little line, I I did that one. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it's you won't see exactly everything because everybody's so individual. And if I just leave it all, so for me, it's really about bringing everyone's touch to make one.
Yeah.
So usually you see where you put your mark, and some you can see more, some you can see less. And obviously, if someone goes off the slippery slope,
Mm,
as you can imagine, it's blurred out. But it's all about the guests just having fun.
mm.
And if I could get £1 for everyone that told me that they don't know how to paint, I'd be very, very rich right now.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So how does it work then? I mean, from the sort of the start to the end of the process that you provide to the couples that you work with, what is it they should be expecting and thinking about when they're working with? I was going to say with an artist like you. I'm not sure with you. What should they be expecting?
Well, I actually paint with two hands.
Yeah.
So my whole concept about painting is just all about painting with freedom. So searching for perfection is not on my cards. It's all about just feeling good and enjoying the whole process.
Yeah.
So when I talk to the couples, I just like to find out what they would truly like and will make them feel happy to have in their home.
Yeah.
And usually they like to have some part where they got something of an image of where they got engaged, something of maybe where they're getting married,
Yeah.
or some people just want something that fits into their home. And I just have a discussion with them about their colors and what size canvas they would like. So it's all fully personalized.
Mm.
Or I do go to I do have another avenue that I go along is the couples that prefer the guests to create the background. Like I'm doing a water lily scenery. So I'm going to arrive at the wedding with the plain background, the plain canvas. The guests are going to do the water, and then I will add the lilies
Right.
after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, essentially, then, so this isn't just a matter of you're bringing a pot of paint and a blank canvas to a wedding, and everybody's kind of grabbing a brush and having a go and seeing what comes out. There's actual thought that goes into this where you're directing people to say, right, so this artwork is about this because that's what the wedding couple have chosen. What do you want to do? Where do you want to put it? How do you want to go? And you're kind of I'm guiding them in terms of how to do that.
Yes, yeah, there's always someone there guiding them
Mm,
what to do. Sometimes we do a little lesson to show them if they're a bit stuck. For smaller weddings, we actually give them like a little palette so they actually have more time to do it.
wonderful.
We really go to the rhythm of the guests. Like
Mm,
last week, I had a wedding. It was quite a large wedding, but the guests were enjoying it so much they were really taking their time to do it. So we spent a little bit longer than planned, but the main thing is just so long as the guests are having a good time
mm.
and enjoying it. But we leave before the main party starts.
Yeah, get you. Okay. So, I mean, really, then you're sort of providing, I guess, this service where the couple are I'm going to say like half commissioning a piece of artwork, maybe with an idea in mind. You're starting it off, finishing it off in the middle. All the guests are adding their own touches and strokes to it, and at the same time getting an experience and a bit of information on what it is to be an artist and a painter, and kind of, I guess that everybody's taking something away from this, right?
They are, and I look at it like a sandwich. So I do the
Mm.
background, the guests do the midground, and then I do the foreground.
Yeah.
But for me, the most important part is that this canvas is like an icebreaker. It brings all the people together. It makes new friends, their debates. And a lot of couples say the canvas becomes like the talking piece of the common talking piece
Mm.
to bring people who don't know each other, families together that have never met. And yeah, it's like a really nice tool to bring everyone together.
I mean, I love that. I mean, I guess as well that the atmosphere around the canvas, when it kind of really gets going, it must really start to buzz with electric, right?
You can see on the smile on my face. It says it all. Yes, it's amazing. It's really amazing to witness. how happy everyone is, and
Yeah.
some get a little emotional, but generally speaking, it's they have such good time that
Mm.
I leave thinking how lucky I am that I'm one of the I think I'm one of the few suppliers that get, probably your job
Yeah.
as well as a magician, where I meet all the guests.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You meet everyone.
Yeah. I go searching for people when I'm at a wedding. You know, like who's hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
So when when you're at a wedding, then so you turn up and I'm guessing there must be a bit of setting you probably set up before the event kind of starts and people arrive and there's a ceremony, what have you. But then after that, and you're sort of there, and I guess you're telling people what's happening. I mean, are guests hesitant, or do they just dive straight in, or is it a mix of both?
Generally speaking, I have to invite them and they go, "Oh, what's that? Oh my God, we don't want to touch that painting." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, you're going to help me finish creating it." And
Okay.
it just takes one or two people to get the ball rolling, but generally speaking, a few people the people are generally hesitant to come, but once, like you say, once the whole event gets rolling,
Yeah.
everybody's everybody gets really relaxed and they know there's nothing that can go wrong because I'm going to fix it at the end. It's more about just how the art is bringing everyone together. It's
Yes.
touching the sentimental side that the couple will remember that canvas being seen with all the guests and everybody adding, even if it's a dot. Um, and yeah, it's a very, very special piece of how should what would you call it? I don't want to say a piece of equipment because it's not a piece of equipment, but it's like an object that can be
It's
that
a center
brings.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like the focus of what I mean. That sounds brilliant. And I mean, I guess as well that you must have like people constantly coming back to see how it's going on and how it's progressing and you know what's happened since I went to the bar, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they come and go, "Is my butterfly still there? Has anyone touched it? Has anyone ruined it?"
Yeah.
Or they'll go and get the groom and the bride and they'll be really proud of what they did, or
Yeah.
they'll be saying, "Look how I've ruined the canvas."
But of course, you know, they're in this situation where they're in safe hands with a professional like you who says, "Don't worry, it might not look exactly like you want it to, but by the time I've taken it back to the studio and you know tidied up a couple of bits, it'll look absolutely perfect."
Yeah. They go to me, "How do you allow so many other people to share the canvas with
Yeah.
you?"
So
They're
this
like,
is
and
something.
they're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that's something I was thinking. I mean, because there's definitely this element of you know this is my work. This is something I'm working on. I'm very proud of this work. So that there must absolutely be something to my mind anyway. There must be something in your brain where somebody picks up a brush and you kind of go, not there, not there, not like that, not that color. But of course, as I say it, I realise that you can't be like that if you're really going to create this collaborative piece of artwork, right?
I do have some rules.
Oh, good.
If the couple have asked me to do, like I did a mountain scenery in Alaska,
Yeah.
and then the groom wanted the trees all at the bottom, I wouldn't allow anyone to touch that mountain
Hmm.
range.
Yeah.
And then I did Stowe Bridge, a bridge from Stowe House in
Yeah.
the one of their bridges that the couple wanted, and I wasn't allowing anyone. I did allow them to put a cat on it,
Yeah.
a little tiny cat, but I wasn't going to allow. So just there to guide
Yeah.
everyone and show them where their
Mm.
terrain is,
Yeah.
and apart from that, I just love the energy that everyone can bring to one canvas. And that's the way I look at it, that it's a different way of painting,
Yes.
that I have other people adding their layer, and that layer is a bit like life. Sometimes we don't see all the layers, but those layers could trigger something for me to go take the canvas to another level.
Get you.
So
Get
for
you.
me, it's all about the energy, not seeing every individual piece that everyone's added, but it's really I love seeing how what someone all these layers can turn can bring the canvas to what it is. So the
Mhm.
guests actually trigger my inspiration to take the
Mm.
canvas to another level for the couple.
Get you. What's been the craziest thing somebody's done where in the moment you've thought, oh no, and then you've looked at it and gone, "Ah, do you know what? Actually, that's really gonna work."
Um, I should write a book, maybe one day, but there are quite a few. But there's some things that I do ask the couple. I go, why did you draw a rocket ship? What's the link between this and this field of flowers? And they'll go,
Mm.
because it's taking me out of this world and
Get
things
you.
things like this.
Okay.
Um, what else have I had that people have done? Oh, people have just done. I've had a giraffe put into a forest. In a forest, it's supposed to represent England. I've had an airplane and a boat to put in a field of flowers and stuff like that. But everybody's really respectful. Obviously, we do have the talk that, oh, maybe we should paint this and this and this, and it's
Mm.
all talk.
Yeah.
And some couples say, "Oh, I would never allow my guests to paint because you know what they'll paint for us." And I usually it's all talk, but when they know it's for the couple's home,
Yeah.
they're very respectful.
Yeah.
And someone's written the groom's in big letters across the canvas, his nickname. And I left it there, but I blurred it out so you can't really see it. But
Get you.
yeah, I have all sorts of stuff,
Mm.
but
I mean,
usually everyone's really respectful.
yeah, I was going to say, I guess that would be a concern as well, right? Because there's definitely people out there who probably are planning weddings thinking, I love the idea of a collaborative piece of artwork, but if my mate Dave goes to that canvas, I just can't begin to imagine. But of course,
Mm.
their mate Dave's going to get there and be faced with you where you say, right, Dave, what are we going to draw today? And he might say, well, I'm going to do this. And you might go, no, you're not, because of this. And I think that's it, isn't it? When people understand what the purpose is, what it's going to be, where it's going to go, then of course
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing. So
Mm.
so the process, as I understand it, then is that you speak with the couple and they say, well, we would like, as you say, a field of water lilies, and you say, okay, fine, I'm going to create this, and then the guest will add these bits. How do you then take away that piece of artwork at the end of a wedding day that everybody's kind of put their mark on and added their touch to, and still turn it into a refined piece of beautiful artwork that they'd be happy to put in their home?
I take it respecting all the notes I've made for the couple. And like I said, it's not about seeing each individual as a whole, each individual piece as a whole. I really like to repeat it's about the layers, the sentimental value that it was at the wedding. And it's obviously keeping touches there, but it's all about the layers.
Yeah.
And I just go to what the couple wants because they've sent me photos, I've done mock-ups for them, and I get a feel of the energy. Having been a therapist, I'm heavily into energies.
Get you.
And I think that gives me a lot of inspiration as well from the wedding. And yeah, I take that away as well. So I try to, it's like the guests have added an energy, and then I come back and add my touch to it to
Mm.
refine it.
With you. Okay. So of course once you've done that then it's time for the big unveiling of the artwork for the couples. And I guess as well that'll be the first time they've seen it from when you took it away at a wedding, right? Which
Yeah.
I mean, again, and I imagine there must be some moments when couples are kind of, they see you turn up and they go, "Wow, that's amazing. That looks brilliant. Can't wait to see how it goes." And then, of course, the end of the day, and they're kind of looking, being like, "Oh no, what have our guests done? This was going to be so wonderful." And then, of course, they get to the final end where they get the artwork and go, "Wow, that's amazing." I mean, there must be such a range of emotions that people go through.
Mm. Some couples at the end, just before I leave, they'll go, "Penny, you'll take away the initials because we didn't want writing on it." Or, "Penny, could you get rid of that rocket that has no
Yeah,
no no?" Or if I have a doubt, I will send them a picture.
yeah,
If I'm really doubting, and I'll say, "Is it okay to blur this out, or just completely wipe it out?" Because it looks nice and funny for the day, but you don't want the canvas to get boring. You really want to please the eye
yeah, yeah.
forever. And some couples like the guests to sign the back of the canvas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It does turn into kind of a guestbook heirloom piece of artwork anyway.
Oh, wow.
And how many people can say they own a piece of artwork that all of their guests have added, even if it's just a tiny little speck? How many people can say that they own an original piece of artwork
Yeah,
that was at their wedding day? So yeah,
that is
it's a very
fantastic.
simple.
That is great. I mean, there's just, I think, so many concepts that I love, but I think certainly for me, and it must be different things to different people. It's that idea of knowing that you're going to get a beautiful piece of artwork on the wall that you can look at forever, being like, yeah, our family and friends made that on our wedding day, with his help. And of course, there must be moments that they might look great on social media or in the photos or the wedding video, where people draw things and happen that, of course, don't make it to the final artwork. But of course, that's all done, sort of tastefully and respectfully based on the couple's wishes. So let's look at the process then. So there's a couple out there today who are thinking, you know what? I love this idea of collaborative piece of artwork. We're going to contact Penny. What should they be expecting when they reach out to you?
I like to have a chat with them just to get to know them and see what they would like. And then so we do like a discovery call, then we can chat about their theme, and if they're interested, we then do all the paperwork, sending for the deposit
Yeah,
and the costing, and then we discuss the theme. I sometimes couples like me to do a mock-up. So I'll do a mock-up, and then 6 months before the wedding, I'll just reach out to make sure that's what they wanted. Or if it's a last minute call, obviously it's not as long as if someone's booking 2 years in advance.
yeah,
And then a week before the wedding, we'll just have a little bit of contact, just making sure everything's good, and then I'll turn up to the wedding, and it's so simple. And then they have nothing really to do much with me on the wedding day because I usually bring someone to round
yeah,
people up for me, and then we manage the whole thing with photos going on. The magicians could be there, the photo booths, but we make sure we go and round everyone up, and we
yeah.
then if they have evening guests, we'll have a break and we'll come back in the evening. If they've got a significant enough, over 10 people, I would say we would stay on for the evening guests.
Okay. Fabulous. Now, when it comes down, of course, to picking a style or a theme or a variety of artwork that you're going to create, do you have any favourites where people say, "Oh, Penny, we'd love you to make a piece of artwork like this," and you think, "Oh, yes, I love that." What's your favourite?
Or an impressionist piece of artwork, like something from Monet or something like that.
Oh, okay. Does that happen
Yeah.
often?
Yeah, it's happening quite a bit this year. I'm doing
Okay.
Monet's water lilies, and
Right.
excuse me, I'm just doing. I've just delivered an inspiration of Monet's windmills, Field of Windmills in Holland, because that couple go to Holland every year for holiday. And I love doing my wildflowers as well. I love doing all of them, but that's when my heart is really is in the place where I know where I love impressionism is really my style anyway. So
I've just looked at that, and yeah, that's absolutely stunning. I like it.
yeah,
I do.
yeah,
Like it very
yeah.
much. Fabulous.
Mm.
Right. Penny, this has been a fascinating conversation. I feel like I could talk about this for ages. However, sadly we can't. So, really important question then before we finish. If somebody's out there right now and they want to know more about you, where can they find you on the internet?
On Penny's Art, PENNYSARTE. The art has an E.com.
Penniesart.com. And how about Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram?
Penny's Art or the signature canvas. Penny, the signature canvas.
Penny, the signature canvas. Absolutely fabulous. I will definitely make sure people go and check that out. You definitely should. This is just fabulous. Penny, this has been a really great chat. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you at a wedding somewhere soon.
Yeah, well, thank you very much and see you soon.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there you go. What an absolutely fascinating insight into what could ultimately be a truly unique and meaningful way to capture the interaction and the collaboration of your guests on your wedding day. Now, if you are planning a wedding and you want some entertainment that's going to run through the day, which will be interactive, creative, genuinely personal, and give all of your guests an opportunity to make their mark and be involved, well, it's going to be something you will cherish for years to come, and I wholeheartedly recommend you contact Penny at Penny's Art. As she said, you can find her online at Penny the Signature Canvas on Facebook and Instagram, and also penniesart.com with an E, where you can explore her work and the collaborative pieces and how it all comes together. As always, thank you so much for listening and thank you for being here. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, and share this podcast, this episode, these conversations with people who are getting married. It's often unique, thoughtful ideas like this that become the most treasured parts of people's wedding days. In the meantime, folks, choose your suppliers wisely, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Supplier Spotlight podcast.